say a prospect, gives you an answer that you don't like, right?
Yeah.
When you loop back, do you just loop back that specific question, or do you loop back like all the way to the top of the phase, wherever phase you're at?
It's a tough one because it really depends on where you're at in the sale. Like, can you give me an example of like a
Yeah,
specific question or answer?
yeah. For like, when you ask a cost consequence question, and that's the one that you need. Uh, because I like how you would say you like kind of sit in the saddle, or do you just go back and just reword that question? Because like they're not giving you what you want for a good
Okay.
consequence or a good answer.
That makes more sense. I
Hmm.
think I think going back and just re-asking the question isn't super, it's not a great way of doing it if you, even if you re-ask it using different words, right? Because it's not that they're not understanding you, it's just they're not understanding the intent or the reasoning behind. So what you'd want to do is you'd want to, like, I hate to use this word a lot, but contextualize the question for them.
Hmm.
Right. And if someone's like, yeah, no, I'm just gonna, like, no matter what, like, I feel like I'm in a great place. I'm super motivated. Like, I really feel like this time I'm gonna do it. And you'd be like, okay, like that makes sense. And I can see why, like that's your attitude. And I don't think it's a bad attitude, but I think it's always important to explore failure. And so I'd give them reasons. So I'd say something like, Elon Musk is not the man he needs to have the outcomes that he wants. He wants to be on Mars. Last time I checked, he's still here. Right. So he's not the person he needs to be in order to be there. So, like, I'm not the person I need to be in order to be where I want to be, and etc. So we all have like a growth and development of what we need to do. But one of the things that really helps us push that forward faster is understanding the genuine real life day-to-day consequences of failing. Right? Elon Musk is not running towards more money. He's running away from the devastation, destruction of the human race. Do you know what I mean? Like, whatever, he's catastrophized something in his own brain, which causes him and his 127 children, right? Where he sleeps at the Tesla factory, and he's got multiple billion-dollar companies, and he has the same 24 hours that me and you have. But there is something intensely powerful driving him, and it's not running towards more money and 17 more holiday homes, right? That's not what it is. Like, there's a consequence in his mind behind not doing it. So if I can give you an example of like a deer and a bear or something like that, right? You give them like a clear cut example that is really easy for them to follow, where they go, oh, okay, like that makes sense. So it's like, so what happens, man? And you can just re-ask it in the same way. Like, if you don't make any changes, nothing happens. You stay in the same place. You don't get XYZ. You don't do this. What happens then? You just have to, like, you have to go back and kind of, first of all, like, because there's two answers to that. Like, that's if it's consequence questions. Now, if you're asking a question
Love to
that you
see you.
just don't like the answer to, like they give you something that's counterproductive to your end goal, like they're like, no, I'm pretty sure I can do it by myself, right? Something like that. Then you have to do a totally different tact, which is you then have to try and like deconstruct the idea,
Mm.
right? That's a more difficult task, right? Getting consequence questions out of people is not particularly difficult because we can just set up a couple of frameworks like early on, which means that they want to answer the question. Like, I don't remember the last time that somebody, after one simple reframe, didn't give me the answers that I wanted, right? So like, it's not particularly difficult. It is more difficult when people, during the top end of the sales process, give you things that are going to be super problematic later. Like,
Mm.
if they're only talking in future tense, that's going to bring up, like, that's always going to give you think about it objections, right? If there's someone who has like tried a bunch of stuff in the past and it's all failed, that's going to be a significant objection for you. So you have to like deconstruct those ideas relatively quickly, or that you already have a plan for it, right? So you got to be able to identify that and then be like, all right, I need to tear this apart. If someone's like, yeah, I tried a bit of this and this and this in the past, and the coaching was all shit, and they didn't give me what I needed. I'm someone that once I get told what to do, I just go for it. It's like, all right, mate, I've heard that 47,000 times. Like, you're a person to coach, right? Like, so I need to deconstruct. There's a few things in that I need to be really wary of, and I really need to like get them to say like that rationale, just so I can see the rationale behind why you might be looking to XYZ. What's the main reason for wanting to do such and such now rather than doing it the way you've been doing it, getting a different job? Like those questions are designed to deconstruct their current model of doing things, right? So that's a very important part of anything, is to ask that question, because they need to tell us that the current track that they're on is not going to get them the outcome that they want. And then we need to get detail on that. So whenever we get an idea that helps us, we need to ask for detail to solidify it. Okay. And then if we get an idea that's counter to what we want, we can either go into detail to deconstruct it or completely ignore it and deal with it later.
Hey guys, so if you enjoyed this little short snippet of the podcast, then here is another short snippet that you can watch. Or if you want to watch the entire episode, you can just click here. All right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you soon. Bye.